As with Guardian Mastery Pack, the Mastery Pack Warrior product is getting its own special mini spoiler season with a bunch of content creators and Flesh and Blood players sharing new cards from this upcoming set. And while in my opinion the Mastery Pack Guardian product was a bit of a dud, Mastery Pack Warrior is looking incredible. So today we're going to talk through some of the spoilers from this upcoming Mastery Pack product, and I'm just going to share my hype with you because for those that don't know, if I am not playing Gravy Bones in Classic Constructed, I am playing Kasai of the Golden Sands. Actually, it really should be the other way around because I've played more Kasai of the Golden Sands than just about any other Classic Constructed deck since 2024. Like, she has been my favorite Classic Constructed hero. She was beating out the likes of Kano. In fact, I wanted to run her during the MST season, but she just kind of got dumpstered by some of the MST heroes, so I played Kano. And since then, once those heroes started to make their way out, I was back on my girl Kasai. And so Warrior is near and dear to my heart, and these are some sick spoilers and reprints. First of all, let's talk about how Grains of Bloodspill and Brave Forge Bracers and Valiant Dynamo are all being reprinted, and the art on all three of these is peak. This is like peerless. Like, I actually think I prefer Iswardi's take on Grains of Bloodspill over his first. I don't know, actually, they're both so good, but this one's pretty sick. This one's really, really incredible, and this Brave Forge Bracers has such like a dynamic look to it. These are all incredible. Oh, this was done by Acer, of course. That makes total sense because that is so her style, and this Valiant Dynamo is looking absolutely fire. Oh, and of course that's done by Nathaniel Himawan. So all of these are incredible pieces, and not only do they look good, they are linchpin pieces to Warrior decks. Like last night I played all three of these pieces at our armory, and they were all incredible. They were all so good. It was fantastic to play Kasai again, and I managed to go 4-0 into a super wide and fun field. We also get new swords to play with as well. This is Durandal, and Durandal is a two-handed sword that swings for 3. It costs 1 to swing it, and it says if this has a +1 counter, reaction cards get -1 while defending it. And while it doesn't strike me as the most powerful sword option that a lot of warriors have, this one could definitely do some work into a specific meta that reactions are very heavily leaned upon. And of course, if you're playing against a warrior, you oftentimes want to side in your your defense reactions to play into their attack reactions. And this one just says all of those cards are worse. So I could see certain versions of this build, or like certain builds, I think I should say, of this sword kind of influencing how you build the deck and how you play the deck, like some aggro Dorinthia or very heavy attack react type Dorinthia, which already exists, like just trying to play this maybe and not necessarily stacking up counters if people are bringing more defense reactions in. And I think this is a Majestic. Is that right? It is a Majestic. Yeah, so this is a Majestic. So unfortunately can't play this in Silver Age, but there are a lot of good cards that you can play in Silver Age. Let's make this bigger again. Speaking of other swords we get Golden Grail, which is a warrior sword that is two-handed. And this one is all for Olympia. Once per turn action, pay 2 or destroy a gold you control and attack. And if this attack has wagered, it gets +1. And if you forgot what Olympia does, Olympia, the first time an attack, or each of your attacks, I should say, wins a wager, you create a gold token. So he's going to generate lots of gold throughout. And then the gold is the payoff because you can crack it to swing your sword and be off to the races. And so there's a lot of wager options as well within this set, but Olympia is going to be a feature piece in this set alongside of, Hala, which got her own armory deck. Olympia's getting his own armory deck. I think Dorinthia's getting like a demo deck. It's just like, this is what you should do for a freaking Mastery Pack product. And it just makes me excited to see more Mastery Pack stuff. They're just bombarding like the marketplace with the options available to you to try Warrior. Try it with this hero, try it with that hero, try it with these new cards. Here are reprints, you can build the decks. It's cool. Continuing down, we saw this one spoiled yesterday. Overwhelming Swing costs nothing. It's an attack reaction, blocks for 3, it pitches for yellow. It says this costs an additional 1 to play for each card defending on the active chain link. So you will have to pay for this if your opponents put stuff in front of it, but you get the following benefit. Target weapon attack gets plus X power, where X is twice the number of cards defending it, plus 1. So if your opponent isn't defending this, the attack that you're playing this on, this is literally a 0 for 1. So it's not good. If they're blocking with a card, then you have to pay 1 to play this, but this is going to be getting 2 plus 1, so this becomes a 1 for 3. Still not very good. But if they commit like a card and a piece of equipment to block your sword, for example, or really just straight up, we'll do it with that. A card plus a piece of equipment, two cards, if you will. Then this costs 2 to play, and then it's going to be giving plus 5. So it becomes a 2 for 5. In a way, this is like Overpower, but a little bit more modular, and sometimes worse, and maybe sometimes even better. If this costs 3 and they block with 3, then that is going to be 7. It's a 3 for 7 attack reaction. I think I'm getting my numbers correct because 3 cards equals 6 plus the 1 from here. That's pretty cool. So this is like an interesting yellow pitch overpower red that's better, but not if they're not blocking. So it's like you play it in the end game. This seems really, really cool. Sharpening Sparks was spoiled a little while ago. This one costs you nothing and it targets sword attack. And then it gets plus 2 when you target that sword attack with the attack reaction. And then when it hits, it sharpens the sword, which is fantastic if you're playing Hala, because Hala would love to sharpen her sword in a variety of ways. So this is a fantastic way to do that. I'd be curious to see if this has a lot of play into other warriors. Like I might consider doing this into like Bolton. I might consider doing this into, well, now that Olympia has this sword, maybe he doesn't really care about sharpening. It might be kind of cool into Dorinthia, but you lose the counters if you're playing original Dawnblade. Either way, this one feels great for Hala. And again, this is one of several cards that is absolutely crazy. Costs 1, it's blue, it pitches blue, I should say, and it blocks for 3. Attack with target sword that has been sharpened and you've attacked with this turn. It just forces another attack onto the combat chain. That is so cool. This is crazy cool. Like, I know there's been a couple people since this has been out for a while. Some of these cards have been out for a while. This one's been talked about already, but I think this is incredible. And I never would have thought we'd go to a place like this, but this is like the almost infinite design space that the LSS team is cooking up with some of these cards. It feels like they could just go any which way, and I don't know what to expect, and I love this effect. Being able to just say, I attack with the sword again, just when I choose to. That is super cool. And then the cards that got me most excited, and there's still one of these like Kasai arts out there, but Raise Blades. Oh my God, let me just tell you, this card with Unsheathed is cracked. This card just about like, what does the card do? Raise Blades. I'm so hyped, bro. Okay, Raise Blades costs nothing. It blocks 3. It's another Majestic to put into my Kasai deck. It's another foil I have to collect. And it says draw a card and then put a card from your hand on top of your deck. Okay, so it's kind of like activating Stroke of Foresight, but you don't have to pay for it. For those that don't know, I am a massive lover of Stroke of Foresight. I think Stroke of Foresight is so underrated. I've been playing it since 2024 in Kasai, and I think it came out for like a 3-month period, and then it went right back in. Yeah, the card is nuts. So a 0-cost version of Stroke of Foresight that is a little less flexible because you can't bottom the card is still very, very good. But what does it do after that? Your next sword attack this turn gets +3. So this makes 2 swords free. It gives a +3 buff. This is a 0 for 5 value card in Kasai. Are you kidding me? Because remember, you're drawing the card, so your swords now costs you nothing. You just need the Go Again. So if you have the Go Again active, you can play a pitchless version of Kasai, at least on that specific turn. So that is a very, very big deal. This card cannot be understated how good this card is. I was talking yesterday at the end of the Armory, because I played Kasai the entire night. And I was like, theoretically, there has been this pitchless version of Kasai that leans heavily into playing like 9 hit and runs and, you know, Unsheathed and Sharpened Senses and all of these 0-cost cards that can try to enable you not to have to pitch too much, right? And then you could consider maybe like the blues that you put into the deck, like funneling into draw swords and kind of doing this. This is just that. This is literally just that. Like, this card is like another like check on the box to be able to make you do that, which is so cool. And maybe we get more of like that angle for Kasai before she LLs that direction. Rakeback was spoiled recently. This one costs 2. It pitches blue, blocks 3. And it says you can destroy a gold you control rather than pay this card's cost. So it costs nothing if you're playing Olympia and have 1,000,000 gold lying around, because the gold is the payoff, everybody. Your next sword attack this turn gets +2. And when this attacks, wager with the defending hero. The winner may equip an equipment card from their graveyard. And again, if you know anything about Olympia and you want to be visiting the Golden Anvil a lot, you're going to have all these equipment laying around in the graveyard. You're going to be swapping them back in. Here's another way to put another piece of equipment on. And Olympia has even more of an identity with a card like this. This feels very good for him. Stand Tall is basically like, it's got Bolton on the art front and center. And it says, while this is defending, it's a warrior block, by the way. Pitches yellow, blocks 3. Warrior block says, while this is defending, whenever the attacking hero plays or activates a reaction, this chain link, this gets +2. This one feels fine. As with most Bolton cards, which is so bad to say, this one feels fine. Yeah, it feels fine. You kind of have to play this. This almost feels like one of the cards that they would include in a Mastery Pack product for the specific purpose of playing against other warriors. Like, this is going to be great against other warriors. Assassins is going to be great for assassins as well. But outside of those, I mean, it's kind of like Blunton in that way. And Blunton was fantastic last night, except, you know, that makes a full card value lost on your opponent's turn, and this just blocks 5. So, I don't know. I mean, it seems fine. These next 3 cards are so crazy. And they've been spoiled for a while. They showed them on stream like a couple months ago, I think. But these are awesome. We have Blue Pitch Donkey. That's a weird way to say that title of that card. But it costs nothing. It blocks for 3. It's a warrior attack reaction. It says target sword attack gets +1 and wagers with the defending hero. The winner of the wager, meaning that if the attack hits, then you win. If the attack doesn't hit, then they win. The winner of that wager destroys a card in their own arsenal. So if your attack hits after you play this, you lose your arsenal. But if your opponent has fully blocked out, including the +1 that you're about to play with this reaction, you can play this card and make them lose their arsenal. That's cool. That's really cool. And it's a blue block 3, so you're like, yeah, I'll play that. And also it's a rare, so you can play this in Silver Age. Downswing, same thing. Red pitches 0. It costs 0. It pitches red, and it blocks for 3. It's an attack reaction that says target sword attack gets +1 and wagers. The winner of the wager loses a life. So if your opponent has fully blocked you out and you play this, then they still lose a point of life. At low life totals, I could see this maybe making the impact that it's trying to do, but I don't know. At the same time, I'm not quite sure. I don't necessarily think this one would be played. But what I do think would be played is this one. Drawing Dead. Costs nothing, pitches yellow, blocks 3. It's a rare, and Kasai might like it, but it says target sword attack gets +1 and wagers with the defending hero. The winner discards a card. So I could see a world where you're playing Kasai and there's like a Fatigue Guardian that you're playing against. I don't know, someone maybe called Victor or something, for however long he lasts in the format. And they block you out fully with all their block slop crap, right? Or maybe in Silver Age and it's Oldham, they block you out fully with all that block slop. And then you're like, cool, I wager with you, discard your final card. You don't get to swing hammer on that turn. And they're like, fine, I'll still win in Fatigue anyway. And they probably will because they suck. Run Through Red is being printed. That's a cool thing. I play so many run-throughs in my deck right now, and they're all called Blade Runner. And we also have Run Through Blue as well. So for those that don't know, Run Through came only in yellow. I have 2 copies of foil and 1 non-foil in my deck right now, and it bugs the heck out of me. But now I can just run the reds and the blues. There you go. We have a bunch of these awesome cards that were shown off as well. Shove Off costs 1. It blocks 3. It pitches blue. It's an attack reaction that says choose a non-equipment card defending a sword attack you control. Return it to its owner's hand. I've talked about this in a brief video about a month or two ago. This one is cool because it's basically Route without the buff. But it's, I mean, if you think about it, you're taking a potentially 3-block card and putting it back in the opponent's hand. So it is like a +3. That's pretty awesome. And you're giving them a card that they were willing to give up, meaning that it's probably a card that's less valuable to them, and then they have to rework their turn with it. I think this is great, and it's a rare. By the way, all of these now that we're talking about are Silver Age legal, and that is huge because this is also supporting Silver Age, including Golden Company, which is a 2-for-6 defense reaction. Y'all remember that Shunt card? You remember Steelblade Shunt and how it got banned? It was like a 1-for-5 and it would ping for a damage. They should bring that card back first and foremost because I don't want to watch Enigma just kind of like eat people. I'd rather just make them cry by pinging their ward aura and saying goodbye to it. That would be fun. So we should bring that back. But we also have Golden Company as well because you can destroy a gold and not pay the 2 costs. So instead you destroy a gold and this is a 0-for-6 block. And then you've got the yellow, which is a 0-for-5 or a 2-for-5. And then the blue, which is a 2-for-4, which probably might see play in decks that want to build enough gold. I could maybe see that. A 2-for-4 blue? I don't know, maybe. Blade Rush, I've talked about this before in a previous video, but since we're going through it all thus far, let's talk about it again. Blade Rush blocks for 2. It's an action. It pitches yellow and it costs you nothing. And it says your first sword attack gets go again. Your second sword attack gets +1. So it's like a modular go again enabler version of Slice and Dice, which is pretty sick. I like this card a lot. They're reprinting Warrior's Valor. It looks like they only show the red here, and that's probably fine because yellow and blue are pretty negligible. Red is kind of where all the decks have been playing since the beginning of the game. Like this, by the way, was a WTR card, and the reds are cool. In the Swing's also getting a reprint, which is fantastic. And I'm just gonna say it. I love this version of In the Swing. The promo version is cool, but this one in foil with the blue and the red, I mean, look, behind me, blue and red, these are the colors that I like to look at. So this right here, I just have the foil versions. They're really curly, but that's okay. You just put them in one of those thick double sleeve right there. Steel on Steel, this is another defense reaction, and this to me screams like in-set play. So Mastery Pack Guardian was designed for crack shuffle play. Steel on Steel feels like a crack shuffle play type card in that if you defend a weapon attack, it gets +1 and it's a 0-for-4. Otherwise, it's a 0-for-3. Honestly, I could still see people playing the red 0-for-3 as a defense reaction in Silver Age because that format just doesn't have a ton of defense reactions. So this is a really good card, but it also tells me that Mastery Pack Warrior is a product that strikes me, I'm just going to say it. It's a product that looks like they're going to do crack shuffle play encouraged type format. I don't even know if that's how you put words together. At this point, I don't know anything except Trot Along exists again, and they have a fantastic version of Dawnblade. And I don't know, can we see the back? Will it show me the back if I flip it around? That's incredible. It gets the Rosetta Thorn treatment, and deservedly so. I'm so excited for this set. It looks like what they've done with Mastery Pack Warrior is going to far exceed not only expectations, but also the bar that was set by Mastery Pack Guardian. I think that they've really looked at this product line and figured out what people are going to want. If you're not a Warrior player, this is a product that you'd go, okay, wait, I could get a lot of value out of like all of these reprints or some of these new pieces, and I could open this and then I could buy the armory deck of any of the Warriors and just start like feeding cards into them. Like this is a really good product, and I'm really excited to see more spoilers from this set. So LSS, just keep them coming. Keep the spoiler train rolling. I want to see more because this is awesome. If you like this type of content, you want to see more flesh and blood stuff, make the number go to the other number. As always, everybody, thanks for watching.